Well, good morning, everybody on YouTube and Twitch. Hope you guys are all having a great day. We are on the ground here in Minneapolis, St. Paul, in the beautiful Delta A319 from FENIX Simulations. We got the CFM engines on today. Over-exaggerated morning time a little bit. Obviously, it's about 11 o'clock here, Eastern Standard Time, but we turned it back to sunrise to give that genuine feel of a cool, crisp morning. I guess really warm, crisp morning. Walking to the jet in the summertime, and that's what we have here today, guys. So it's going to be a beautiful ride over to Chicago O'Hare. This is a real-world Delta flight that they do. Delta 1567. They usually do it in a 220. We're going to rip it in a 319 today since we don't have a 220 yet. But coming soon. Coming soon. Hope you guys are all having a very great morning and a great start to your week. I guess it's only Tuesday. It's my Friday. So, yeah. Sucks to suck. But with all that being said, let's pretty much jump in the airplane here. And let's start getting things rolling. Trying to find a halfway decent spot to sit, like in here. Gotta set up this view again. What is that 2 view? What is that? Okay. I'll do this here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Everything's looking good. Let's go overhead, get our batteries on, and get the GPU on. Get our ADIRs on. Get our lights all set. What else does Pilot Luke say that we have to do? Brennan, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. What's going on, bro? How are you? How's life treating you? I think ground control you turn on. I think that's something Pilot Luke told us about. Alright, so we'll hop on over to the EFB here. Import our flight. We are going to be on VATSIM today. Like I said, Delta 1567. No ATC coverage, it doesn't look like as of right now anyway. Been busy with work and travel. Sorry for being AWOL. No problem, man. Live your life. What, where you been traveling? We'll get GSX to do this.
Boarding requested.
Delta.
Refueling truck is on its way. Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Alright, but we might turn the APU on before he gets here. Greece, Florida, Charlotte so far? Oh my gosh, dude. Do you have family out there or anything, or just kind of just ripping around? We got 55 minutes in the air today, guys. Cruising at 31,000 feet. Yes, please.
Fuel truck is in position. Passengers boarding.
Oh wait, okay, Florida and Charlotte.
Please don't load
Okay.
aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask
Hello,
to do it.
Captain. We are ready for pushback.
I was automatically assuming you meant Greece as a golf trip. That's pretty sweet, though. I've never played golf outside of PA, I don't think.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Let's see how much fuel it wants us to take. Wants to have 12.2 on board. Brennan, flying's been good. My July schedule is pretty good. I've got like 85 hours on the schedule-ish. That's pretty solid. and I'll hit 1,000 sometime in July. So I think the back half of July I'll hit 1,000 hours.
Locking gear.
Yeah, those coming along. Whoa, look at them go. How much longer do you have left in school?
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
I think it's good. I'll leave the door open whilst they board. Let's request our init information. Yeah, we need 12.2-ish, and they are currently fueling us up. There, that's pretty cool. Flight number, we are Delta 1567. Cost index was 99 and cruising at flight level 310. Iris and it, align on ref, confirm a line, and we'll come back here. Let's take a look at what, I'll be a senior in the fall. Nice, dude, congrats. That's awesome. Auto ATC gave us some stuff here. 2612 on the squawk. 2612. And they didn't really give us anything else, so let's just take a look. I think I saw 30 left as the departure runway. 30 left. What is that departure? RST1. RST1. Okay. RST. Oh, the Rochester one. Rochester, really? Waterloo. It wants me to take the Rochester VOR as the last fix, as the transition. Let's see. I feel like we can take what? Well, let's just insert it here, and we'll just see how that kind of goes. Fox Golf Tango. See, it doesn't have that like on my. Oh yeah. So radar vectors have Fox Golf Tango, then Faux Doctor, Cordy, Rochester, and then Zipper. And then Chicago, it's planning us for 27 center. Do we like that though? Let's see. I don't think there's any ATC on Chicago either. 27 center, not really. I mean, I'd like to do like 28 right or something. 27 center is alright, I guess. Let's just do, what did she say? 27 center. 27 center on the Byte 7. Transition from Zipper. Go ahead and take that. Insert all that. Everything looks good there. We'll have our init page up for whenever they're done loading. And we can just take a quick step through of the flight plan with the B key for our local altimeter setting. Departure procedure says top 7,000 on the SID, so we'll go ahead and set that. And we'll be 220 heading to 360, 3,500 feet. Then radar vectors to Fox Golf Tango, Bobel got about 4, Dr. Cordy, Rochester, then Zipper onto the arrival into Chicago. All set up nicely for a downwind on the center runway. So everything looks good here for us, guys. And like I said, just kind of waiting for the IRS to finish aligning. And yeah, I'll pretty much go from there. Beautiful morning here in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Bags here too. So loud. All right, we'll hop back inside for Mexican aviators' eardrums. I think the passengers are done. I think we're just waiting on final numbers from the boys downstairs. There we go. Good AP bleed coming on. And we'll go ahead and dismiss that. Send those numbers to the McDo. Get our takeoff performance numbers. 30 left. Sync the weather. What's ground control? I forget. I think Pilot Luke told me about it the one time. I think it's... I don't know. Is it? I think it's just... it's for the cockpit voice recorder, I think. So it records while you're on the ground. I forget exactly. Alright, Init B looks good. 140, 140, 144 on the rotate speed. Flaps 1 up 0.5. Everything looks good over here. Everything looks good over here. I say, we're ready to go. What do you guys think? Let's get the beacon light on. I think that'll automatically prepare us for pushback and departure. Except, how's it supposed to know which way we're supposed to go? I think we're going to go nose to the right, actually. I think I do know. That was right, I do believe.
Release parking brakes, please.
Roger that. Let's go ahead and release park brakes for him.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
We have bleed pressure. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1. Cars. Oh, who's on? Oh, tower. All right. That's not my fault. Let me see. Is our squawk good? 2612, 7,000, 310 for departure. Unicom expect 30 left. 26.7 for push. Sorry about that, buddy. I was already pushing. Not gonna lie, that scared me. It scares me every time. 26.7 for the push. See, why's he got to be difficult? Now I'm in trouble. Hey towers, Delta 1567. We're pushing off a Golf 10. Sorry, just got your 8 cars.
Delta 1567 Minneapolis Tower, Roger. Call for taxi.
We'll go. Alright, looks like good start engine number 1. Let's go ahead and start 2.
Nearest to you. Please be aware that your nearest usable exit may be...
Scares me every time, Mexican aviator.
Emergency lighting will guide you to an exit. In an emergency...
This guy's going to Chicago as well.
If the air supply fails...
Please set parking brakes.
That sounds so good.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Hold the mask in place. Pull on
Cockpit to ground.
adjust.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Said departure frequency is going to be Unicom, so we'll be back to 22.8 here. I think this tower came online because there's a couple of departures or something.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
And we'll wait for the pin on the left side here. Let's go flaps to 1. Arm that, disarm that, center that up. Go ahead with that. APU can come off, and we'll get taxi lights on. There's our guy. And Tower Delta 1567 ready for taxi.
Delta
this guy's pushing
1567,
away.
runway 30 left, taxi via Alpha.
Alright, 30 left on Alpha, Delta 1567. Alright, let's release our parking brakes. And that guy's pushing, so we're on Bravo right now. Alpha is actually over here. So that works out perfectly. We'll get our predicted wind shear on. And then run through the takeoff config. I see. Takeoff config is normal. Everything looks good. Last stream of the week. Let's make it a good one. Let's get some likes out there. Like and subscribe if you guys are new. Beautiful Minneapolis, St. Paul. This is, I think this is a freeware scenery. It's, I mean, it does some stuff, obviously nothing crazy, but. Maybe just some taxiways and some of the gate stuff. Flat McDo disagree. Why did they come up? Trying to think, what did I hit? What's going on?
Delta 1567, winds 260 at 7, fly heading 260, runway 30 left, clear for takeoff.
260 on the heading, 30 left, clear for takeoff, Delta 1567. Alright, 260 on the heading. We'll kind of pre-bug that. And we'll get our lights on. We are clear for takeoff. Let's get some togas in the chat. Okay. There we go. All of our lights are set for takeoff. Takeoff config is normal. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Spool them up 50. Low nose pressure on the stick. And Manflex 66 SRS runway auto thrust blue. 60 heading. Oh, he left turn, sorry. Did he say right turn? I don't know.
Delta 1567, radar services unavailable. Discontinue unit count approved. Have any flight?
Over the dark side, thanks to ATC, Delta 1567. If I say thanks for the ATC to anybody, if I say thanks for the ATC to Potomac Approach later, I'm gonna freaking lose it. Alright, we came back to we came back to thrust climb. Climb thrust, there it is, attaboy. Alright, flaps coming up. Alright, let's get direct to the Farmington VOR, Fox Golf Tango. That should give us nav mode, and it does. And we'll start our left turn. Beautiful sunrise, A319 this morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened whilst the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated.
Oh. So I think it's these off right away. I should have recorded that little session I had with Pilot Luke and disarmed that. And we want to go, we can just go ahead and climb up all the way to flight level 310 since that's our cruising altitude today. And we'll go ahead and throw on the autopilot. And with that, switch back to Unicom. Just like that, we're on our way to Chicago. Mexican aviator approves of this route. Let's go. Yeah, last stream of the week, but July is going to be a great month, guys. I'll be gone till the 4th, but I'll basically be here, like, working for, like, 2 straight weeks in July at least. So, we're going to do a lot of streaming. But again, something else I want to put a lot of emphasis on is actually videos. I've got some video ideas that I want to do, and I've got some video ideas that I want to work on, and also what's it called? Listen, I got some video ideas I want to work on, and also the Pilot's Life series as usual. So yeah, and also if I have to go, I have my maintenance guys coming over for my apartment here in a little bit. So if I do kind of disappear for a little bit, that's where I'll be. Brendan. Sounds good. Enjoy your meeting. Mexican Aviator, are you doing any flying today? On the simulator? Where are you going? Do the return flight. What was your flight again? Cancun to Puebla. All right. How far is that? And while we're just cruising around, we'll just take a look at some Chicago weather here. 250 at 6. Temperature. Oh. Shoot. Well, that was stupid. 2988. All right. Low pressure out there. 2988. 28 degrees. And then 250 at 6 was the wind, like I said already, but I did it wrong. So I'm stupid. And minimums are 853. Not that we really need them today, but always fine to plug them in. 320 fan, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Going good today. So far, so good. It's a beautiful day here. 77 degrees. A little bit of sun, a little bit of clouds. It's beautiful today. How are you? You working? Is that a long flight, Mexican Aviator, or no? We'll get the seatbelt signs off so that they can, since this is a quick flight, they can start doing their cabin service. You're good. Okay. Back home, back to work. Nice. Oh yeah, how was the expo? Tell us all about it. What do we have to look forward to in the flight sim community in the future? What's the future of flight sim? Wing and Navigraph's what you're looking forward to? Nice. Almost made a full Airbus cockpit. Dang, dude, that is so sick. Bro, next year, did they announce next year's already? I saw somebody said it might be in Minneapolis, but I didn't see when. When's next year's gonna be? Cause I want to go. Also, did Wing say anything about an overhead panel or no? June 12th to 14th, St. Paul. Okay. Oh shoot, where's the There we go. Sorry guys, that wasn't on the whole time. Was Phoenix at the Expo? Good question, Mexican Aviator. 320 fans had asked the employee, couldn't confirm, but he basically said yes, they're gonna make one. Product won't be able to be 1-to-1 like the other one. I mean, that's fair. How small it needs to be? Interesting. Why couldn't it be 1-to-1? I mean, I guess because the overhead panel is huge, but like... Are you just saying like, it needs to be just like generally smaller? Or are they gonna make it like freaking mini? Bro, I'm telling you, whenever I start making like real airline pilot money, we're having a full Airbus cockpit, bro. I promise. I promise you. We're in a full Airbus cockpit setup at the crib. I promise you, Mexican Aviator. They don't want it to be too big. They make it mini, in my opinion. Make it... Okay. Oh, you don't think they're gonna make it mini? Okay, good. Yeah, that could be lame. Did they talk about Boeing at all? Because they've got like approaching 31,000 people. I'm the type to crash a full motion flight sim. I bring a crash the full motion flight sim vibe to the simulator that the instructors just don't really like. Ooh. Same response can confirm, sound like there were talks for it. That'd be cool. How, like, the fact that they are so budget though, like they're so budget friendly, like all things considered. But did they say anything about Boeing? Because they have the FMC and the MC, or the MCP for 737, so. Once they finish Airbus, yeah, it's probably. That's how they make more money in sales. Yeah, because I feel like anybody can charge, you know, $5,000 for an overhead panel for an Airbus or a side stick, or even just an MCP or something like that, or a McDo. I mean, you probably charge, you know, $500 for a McDo. But the fact they make it accessible to everybody, you know, is really where it's at. I want to check out their website. It's been a while. They don't have them on the website yet. I haven't seen everything that they've made. What else don't they have on the website? Like, do they not have anything? Or, like, just the McDo? They have the MCP out, don't they? Bro, does anybody here play DCS? Admitted tiller, ECAM buttons, throttle flaps, speed brakes, transponder. That's crazy. Trident deleted, Mexican Aviator says. Dude, I like watched a couple DCS videos the other day, and it looks really cool. Like, it looks like you definitely have to like really know what you're doing with it, but like it definitely looks really cool. Got a good deal for the Thrustmaster Yo coming around in a couple days. Also got the track IR for discount. Nice. All from the expo. Nice. Oh, that's cool, dude. You gotta let me know how the track IR is. Wait, do you have it already? Like, have you set it up yet? Set up tonight, let you know. Tried it in person, though, it was perfect. Really? You gotta let me know, like, because I feel like it's like awkward, like how, I don't know, because like you're looking at a screen, right? Like you're not actually like, you don't look like in an Airbus cockpit, like you'd look like fully up and to your right if you don't, like 90-degree like head turn and all the way up to like look at the overhead panel. Like how does it, is it like more sensitive to where like if you turn your head a little bit, it turns a lot? Like how does it work? It just never really made sense to me. You can adjust sensitivity, but it's sensitive enough to where you turn your head while keeping your eyes on the screen and remove the camera. Just wanted it for taxi purposes. Yeah, it's fair. It sounds really cool. I might look into that. V1 was at the expo. Nice. I'm telling you, bro. Next one. We're going to the next one, bro. We're going to the next one. Tentatively, I'm there. All right, tentatively. As of right now, I'm in. Oh, really? That's sick. Was he cool in person? Also, how did you know? Because I don't think he's done like a face reveal. So like, how did you know if it was him or not? What's up, Mr. Emirates? Next one's way closer for me. I really do want to go. Dax, yeah, it is pretty close for you. It'll be easier to get to St. Paul too than like Providence, wherever they had it this time. Isn't it so weird that like so few people I feel like know about like flight sim and stuff like that, and then like even fewer people probably like go to these expos, but like it was probably like pretty packed and like there was probably a lot of people there, but like I don't know, it's just it's just crazy to me. Awesome guy sat and talked to me for a few minutes. He told everyone who was wearing cowboy hat and boots his wife had us do a contest of who could find him first. That's pretty funny, actually. Nice, dude. That's sweet. They need to bring it to Chicago, Mexican Aviator said. Yeah, that'd be cool. Probably pretty expensive there. Thank you, Quill. Welcome to the stream. I am doing well. Hope you're doing well as well. Safe virtual travels. Thank you. So far, so good. Smooth flight at flight level 310. Oh, who's pinging me? Oh, auto ATC. Cross B-Hawk at maintain flight level 240. What the frick? Where's B-Hawk? Oh, there it is. Flight level 240. Probably brings our top of descent closer. Yep, 8 miles. Let's go ahead and do that then. Let's push it. Or not. Let's pull it. Made a landing gear panel that includes auto brake settings. Wow, dude, that's crazy. Find any builds Neo. Nice, Mexican Aviator. That's a good plane. Like we only flew that thing like one time, but that's a good plane though. Did you add a mod or something where you can get emergency out of nowhere, like like IRL? I know, dude, that'd be cool. Well, they have. I mean, you could do that. I think like in the PMDG setting, like in the, I think in the iPad settings, you can like set emergencies and stuff. You can do this, and then I think you can. Yeah, I think you can like arm. I want to say you can like arm emergencies, maybe, and like make them happen every once in a while. That might be the case. Airbus rudder as well. That's cool, dude. All right, guys, we start our descent into Chicago. Here, let's also get our seatbelt signs on. Let's go over the verse of the day real quick. Pretty straightforward verse of the day here. FS Labs does it random, I heard. Ooh, well. Maybe that's the one thing that they have over the FENIX. That's their selling point. Matthew 5:10 today. God blesses those who are persecuted for doing right, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. And this is definitely something that, you know, if you've been a Christian for long enough, right, you're gonna get, you know, maybe not persecuted like they did back in the day, like freaking lit on fire and like murdered, like that type of thing. But it's like they, you know, obviously they got persecuted way worse back in the day, but like even now, like you still get bullied, and like even for something like is trying to stay like abstinent, waiting to marriage to like have sex type of thing. I don't know if you're allowed to say that on YouTube, but you know, whatever. Anyway, if you're trying to like stay abstinent and stuff like that, dude, like you get bullied for that. Like people, you know, will like low-key abuse you for doing that type of stuff. So, you know, again, we aren't getting persecuted like they did back in the day, but like still definitely there's some of that like light persecution even today for Christians. But Matthew is trying to give us some hope here and saying that, you know, if you're persecuted for doing right, the kingdom of heaven is yours, and that's a good thing. For you're being persecuted for the right reasons, right? Like all those Christians back in the day, all those guys, like they all died for the faith, essentially. They all died for, I mean, like I said, for the faith. They died for Jesus and for their belief in him. So Matthew's kind of calling us and saying, hey, like if that's the case, then, you know, you're gonna have a great reward in heaven, and everything in heaven is yours. So yeah, blessed are those for righteousness' sake, but not for their own stupidity and fanaticism, right? Like, you don't get praise for being persecuted for being stupid, right? You get persecuted for righteousness. That's whenever, you know, it's a good thing. And blessed are you when they revile and persecute you and say all things evil against you for my sake. Jesus, this is Jesus talking about this. He's bringing insults and spoken malice into the sphere of persecution as well. So, right, like we talk about insults and getting like low-key abused, like I was saying. We cannot limit our idea of persecution to only physical oppression or opposition or torture, right? That's kind of, like I said, that's kind of what I was saying. And rejoice and be glad. So, literally leap and bound whenever you're getting like persecuted is kind of what Matthew is saying here, because it's a good thing to get persecuted in the name of the Lord. So, let me see if we go back a little bit. Another beatitude, Mr. Emirates? Yeah, I guess the guys over at the Bible app are big into the beatitudes lately. But Quill said, do you ever experience an emergency situation in flight? I'm not too sure if it's a feature in the game or not. I haven't yet, but people definitely do, right? Yeah, I don't know. People definitely do experience those type of things in flight. It is more common, like, for the most part, like, you're not going to just, like, pop an engine while you're cruising, right? Like, because that's also, while you're cruising is when the engines are under the least amount of stress, pretty much. Like, you're more than likely to pop an engine or get, like, an ECAM message or something like that, whether it's for, like, oil pressure or if your EGT's going high or something like that. Like, you're more than likely to get an ECAM for something like that while you're, like, on the takeoff roll or right after you rotated, or, you know, in the climb out, you're more likely to pop an engine than when you're just kind of cruising along. So I would say, you know, it's much less likely to happen, like I said, just kind of while you're just, like, flying around, you know. Next game, said, why is bro casually talking about getting lit on fire? That's what happened back in the day, bro. Then Mr. Emirates added on, said, blessed are those who persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for this kingdom of heaven is theirs. If we try to live a Christian life, we will be persecuted. Jesus promises that if we are faithful to him, even in a kind and loving way, other people will hate us. The witness of early martyrs reminds us that as much as passionate Christian life is difficult, and it's also a life. Yeah, well, it is difficult. Like I said, it's hard to live the right way, right? It's hard to, like, do the right things, and that type of stuff. So yeah, it's definitely difficult, Mr. Emirates. You're right about that. Let's see. Also, we're like low key. All right, let me get CTAF forward. Hello. There we go. 2075. I've never flown to Chicago. I still really want to. Let's set the... Why is it all the way... It's 270 knots is the speed restriction. Why are we at 250? Bring it down. Let's set 11,000. Actually, I set 13,000 because that's the first one. 320 Fed said, what's your procedure for an engine failure on takeoff if you're allowed to share? Yeah, I mean, we should. So our takeoff briefing is typically like... So I'll take you through a full takeoff briefing. So it's like right seat departure, runway, whatever, you know, any issues on the runway, beta, and brakes. And beta is basically like, when you go to beta, it basically turns the prop like flat, so it's not really generating any thrust. And that's, I don't know if you guys have ever really heard it in the Caravan, but that's like when you're kind of taxiing along, and if you ever hear a Caravan going like it's a really cool sound that it makes anyway. So that was a terrible description of it, but that's kind of what it does. So yeah, beta basically, and I would go to reverse. I mean, in an emergency, like if, you know, we got any kind of thing going on, I'd throw that thing into reverse instead of beta. But anyway, Beta brakes, bring the plane to a stop, and then I, as the first officer, would handle the passengers, and the captain would handle the plane at that point. And that means, you know, probably like shutting down. If it was like a fire. Ricardo, thank you for following. Welcome on Twitch. Thank you, sir. Yeah, definitely go drop a follow on the Twitch, guys, if you haven't already. 2988 was the altimeter. That's what I was looking for. 2988 is set. So beta brakes from the plane to a stop. You know, engine failure, I'd go outside and open the door for the passengers in the back and get them out and get them to safety if need be. But most likely we're just kind of taxiing back. And then anything under 1,000 feet, you pitch for 85 knots, 30 left of the runway, 30 right of the runway. Try to find a spot to put it down, whether that's grass or a highway or anything like that. If you're over 1,000 feet, you try to make the impossible turn and run your memory items. So again, it just depends. Like if your engine's like on fire, so there's a few more things you can try. Over 1,000 feet, you pitch for 95 knots. If you have more than like 50, I think it's 55% NG, somewhere above like 50% on your NG, there's a chance you'll be able to restart the engine. So that procedure is called PIP, power ignition power. And so basically you just go, you like bring the prop, I think you bring the prop like back to, or you bring the power to idle and then put the ignition on and then send the power full forward. Now really I wouldn't bring it back to idle. I would just probably shove it all the way forward, make sure the ignition is on, and then like, and by ignition I'm talking like it's similar to this right here, right? So it would be like trying to restart the engine. You just like leave it in ignition to give that constant, like that constant start, that constant flame to it. So power ignition power is something you could try. If that doesn't work, you have an emergency power lever, which like basically bypasses the, I think it bypasses like, what is it? It's like if you have a fuel control unit issue, I think it basically like, it ruins the fuel control unit, I think, if you need to use it. Like I think it like puts a hole in it or something, and like, that might be a complete lie. I need to read up on the emergency power lever more often. Basically it bypasses some things. It gives you like that instant kind of like engine power, that instant torque again, if you need it. So that's basically how that works. So PIP, power ignition power, emergency power lever, and another thing you want to do too is FBI. So PIP, EPL, emergency power lever, FBI, which is fuel selectors. You go up top, make sure your fuel selectors are both on, because if your engine fails on takeoff, you know, maybe it's just not getting fuel. Maybe you just had the fuel selectors off. So fuel selectors on, boost pump on, and ignition on as well. And then same thing, you just leave that thing all the way up in, you leave your throttle all the way up at full power. So engine failure right after takeoff, over 1,000 feet, 95 knots, and then you're also trying, this whole time you're doing all that stuff, you're trying to circle back for the runway. And then if your engine's done, completely failed, it's on fire or whatever, you just go idle, feather, cut off. If it's an actual fire, there's two other levers you have to pull. It's the cabin firewall shut off, and I think just the fuel shut off as well. You just pull both of those so that like fire doesn't come back through the firewall basically, or like through the vents or anything like that. So yeah, so long story short, that's basically the engine out procedure for the Caravan. PIP, EPL, FBI, and let me see, is there any lower altitudes on this, or is it just 11,000 for a while? 11,000 for a while. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, but that's basically the engine out procedure for the Caravan. Quill said, I wasn't sure if it was an automatic feature in game if you had enabled. No, it's definitely not. It's if it's anything, it's from the developer. So yeah. Have I ever had any major issues flying? Every time I tune in, it's smooth flying. Kind of want to see it happen. Yeah, actually, there was one stream we did while I was getting ready for my multi-engine check ride. If you can go back and watch that. We did, how many failures did we do? We did like 17 failures. Or something like that, like 13 failures in the Seminole. 13 engine failures while we were flying, and had to shut down, restart, all that good stuff, that one flight. So yeah, go back and watch that one if you want to see some craziness. I'd say, or it does. I'd say it's probably not too bad to land in grass in the Caravan. Yeah, it's really probably would not be that big of a deal. I mean, that's something that's kind of made for anyways. And the nice thing is too, like most of the airports we go to have multiple runways, right? Like other than like the small like satellite airports that we go to, but like, you know, we're going to like Dulles and Pittsburgh and stuff like that. And so, you know, if you have, you know, if you're right at 1,000 feet, you know, you talk about making that impossible turn. It's not really that crazy. I mean, you can come back, you can land on a taxiway, you can land on any kind of concrete, you can put it down on basically highway, anything. So yeah. Do you have to land on grass as part of training the Caravan? No, I've never landed on grass. I've never landed on grass before. 172, Archer, anything. Never done it before. I'm sure we'd have to if it was like actually a part of our like route structure, if we had like grass runways and stuff like that, but we don't have any like grass runways that we go to. We're not that small. You know what I'm saying? We're close though. Some of these freaking airports might as well be. But anyway, let's take a look. Let's get down to like, I don't want to necessarily be right on the departure end at like, you know, 4,000 feet, but I do want to be like lower for sure. Let's get some fix. Let's get some rings out there. Chicago, let's do 10 miles. Let's do 10 miles for now. Got to fly my favorite plane yesterday, 321. Love how smooth that plane is. Nice, dude. That's awesome. I don't know when the last time I've been on like an Airbus is. I feel like I'm always on like Southwest. No, that was a 767. I was gonna say, I thought I took a 330 to Hawaii. I did take a 330 back from Zurich once. Did take a 330 back from Zurich, so that was cool. The grease machine. Mexican Aviator said, when does gear come down? Kind of just whenever you need it. Took American Airlines. Nice, 320 fan. I think I think I want to fly for American. That's like my goal. I don't really care, but like when I envision, it's like I just want to fly for American Airlines. It's just like, yeah, you got Delta, United, like that's great, but like American's like America, you know what I'm saying, man? Like heck yeah. Kind of upset about their service on this trip though. Might try Delta again. Dang, all right. Mexican Aviator, long story short with the gear is kind of just like whenever you need it. Typically you want to be configured before your final approach fix. Like what they teach you in flight school is you want to be configured 3 miles before your final approach fix. So like gear down, flaps out and everything like that. But obviously like if you're visual, you know, you don't need to be fully configured. So it's kind of just up to you. But like also you can put your gear down as long as you're below your gear speed. You can put your gear down whenever you want if you need help slowing down or something like that, because that's, I think, your best source of drag in a jet is the gear. So one of the best sources at least. I want to fly somewhere where I get money. Well said. Well said. Also, I don't think there's anybody else. There's this Delta guy on the ground, but he's like on the south side of the airport, so he probably won't go to the 27 center for departure. So let's start getting lower. We're gonna go down to like 4,000 feet. Something that was bad about the trip was the staff at the airports were extremely rude. Our flights got delayed, and I told you about how we got roasted on the plane. Yeah, you did say that, but what was the matter with the airport staff? Always meant to ask, is the goal to be a commercial pilot in real life, or do you just enjoy sim flying? I am a commercial pilot in real life, Quill. But the goal is to be at a bigger airline than I'm at right now. The place I'm at right now is just kind of it's one of those places that's like a stepping stone. And I mean, again, like I'm not putting them down at all or anything like that. Like I'm so thankful for, and I'm so blessed to have the opportunity that I've had to fly here. But I'm just, you know, definitely looking for something like, it's a stepping stone, right? And everybody recognizes that, like the company recognizes that, and they want to help you get to the next level and everything like that. So long story short, I am a commercial airline pilot right now, but I'm looking to get to something, looking to get to a jet. That's right. Caravan is cool. It's cool. I mean, all the guys that I talk to, all the like the airline guys that I know and everything like that are all very like they always say they're like, dude, enjoy flying the Caravan. It's the most fun flying you'll ever do in your career. Like airline flying is boring and all this stuff. It's like maybe, I don't know. We'll see, but I'll believe it when I see it. We gotta whip the 330 again, bro. I miss the 330. I love that thing. Not really friendly, no smiles, rushing us. Really sassy. Well, was that like the flight attendants too? Or like the airport workers, like gate agents and stuff like that? Because gate agents can definitely be like that, but flight attendants shouldn't. Military Caravan, that is a thing. Look at that bad boy. I love the American flag on there. That's so tough. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Flight attendants were like that a little bit, mainly the gate agents such. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you know, but a lot of those guys are like contracted out too. Like American probably has their own employees, especially at like a hub or something like that, wherever you flew out of. But like a lot of those guys can be kind of miserable. Like I give the ground crew some grace, but you definitely want to hold the flight attendants and like pilots and like crew members to a higher standard, right? Like, you know, that's a job you had to go through training to get. You know, you wear the uniform, like have some respect, you know, put a smile on your face. Like it's never that bad. Live PD, wait, no, it's cops. Oh yeah, you're right. I don't think that was cops. Hated our delays though. It wasn't even due to weather. Planes were just really late. Really? Yeah, I mean that happens, man. That's you know, one delay causes a spiral. Chicago air traffic, Delta 1567 entering the left downwind runway 27 center, Chicago Air. There's the airport. Definitely, like I said, little sketch kind of crossing through there like 4,000 feet, 5,000 feet. But there's nobody else there, so that's why it's like whatever. See, Jimbo is at 4,000 feet. We might aim for Jimbo. That'll be, no, we can do inside Jimbo actually. What's final approach fix? Driscoll at 2,200 is our final approach fix. So let's go ahead and keep it coming down to 3,000 feet. We'll pull the speed back a little bit here so we can get flaps out. Let's do like 220. All right, guys, let's lock in. In the downwind for the center runway at Chicago O'Hare. One of the center runways, 27 center, that is. Time for the butter. We'll see, man. We will see. Let's go flaps 1. See the slats moving out there. And let's go heading mode. Don't like O'Hare taxiing? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Let's do like 210 while we're here. Like I said, it's something that I still have not done, and I really, really want to at some point in my career. Flown into LA, flown into Phoenix, Honolulu, Pittsburgh, Dulles, but never Chicago. Let's go ahead and arm our speed brakes. I don't think, actually, does that even make any sense? I don't think those lights come out until... Yeah, I don't think it makes sense to turn that light on before you put your gear down. The turn-offs... I thought the turn-offs were out. Turn those off. What if I turn those on there? Those should come out because those are these lights down here, right? Yeah, they're there, right there. Alright, so we'll leave those out for now. Alright, let's go ahead and hop in the base turn. Let's drop it down to 2200 as well. Chicago air traffic, Delta 1567 entering left base runway 27 center, Chicago. Over the city. Let's go to the north, basically. It's a west runway, so that'll pretty much be the base. Alright, let's do like 180 now. Flaps 2 once we get to the eyebrow. Let's go flaps 2. And like here, Mexican Aviator, like what I'm thinking is like I have this 10-mile ring, so we're about, you know, we'll be a little inside a 10-mile final. Driscoll will probably be about a 5-mile final, we'll call it, by the time we get here. So we're doing 180 knots. We can put our gear down whenever we get fully configured. Whenever, probably just like by the time, sometime before we get to Driscoll, we'll do that. Let's do like a 320 on the heading. But like when you're intercepting like this and you're not just kind of on a long straight in final, it is kind of like your discretion on how you want to do the gear and what you need and when you need it, more or less. So right, we got 320 to intercept. I'll probably start putting the gear down maybe like as we intercept the localizer. There you go, both signs are on now. Lock star, let's go gear down. Alright, gear, don't give out on me now. Ready for the butter? Let's get some landing rates in the chat here, guys. What do we think? Let's go flaps 3. And did I activate approach phase yet? Nope, let's do that now. And let's give the speed over as well. 100 through 20 fan says, oh my gosh. Flaps full. Chicago air traffic, Delta 1567, about a 5-mile final runway, 27 center, Chicago air. Anybody on the ground over here? American 1080s at the gate. Delta 1799's taking runway to one of the other runways on the south side, so we're okay. Pretty much should just be us. Delta 1553's in the downwind still. They're behind us, so should just be us, guys. Missed approach altitude is 4,000 feet. If we should need it, we won't, but just in case. 232, Brendan says, back right in time. Let's go, dude. We got landing, no blue. Let's go ahead and click the autopilot off and hand flight in. course, with butter this landing, no pressure. All right. I'll see what I can do. All right. I don't know how to flare this thing still. Like, I feel like it's, I don't know. I just feel like it's really weird in the flare. Like, you pull up a tiny bit and it just goes too much, and then you start, like, porpoising and stuff, and it's just ridiculous. I don't know. We'll see. I might have the sensitivity settings still on there, and it might be wrong. It might be bad for the 320 or something. I don't know. Or 319. Might be a FENIX problem because they're getting a new flare system. Yeah, let's say that. Let's put it on them. I like that, Mexican Aviator. That's one of my favorite things you've ever said.
200. Minimum.
The landing.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
Okay. Hang on. Big lag spike. Oh, jeez. Well, I just hope we don't lose the whole sim. I don't know if you guys are seeing. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys saw that big lag spike or not. Okay, Brendan said he did. Okay. Versers are green. I think it was a good. I think it was a solid touchdown until then. Yeah, I think so. We'll take the cross. Honestly, we're gonna take the crosswind runway here. I don't think anybody's using it. And then we'll kind of escape onto Echo here, I guess. Greased so hard the game froze. Yeah, I think we... Is this bad? What is this? No, okay, this is good. Okay. They said there's a taxiway right in the middle. Chicago air traffic. Delta 1567 clear. Runway 27 center on Echo. Gonna cross the left side on Mike. Back to the ramp. Last call. Chicago. Alright, not bad. Right? I mean, like I said, I think that was fine. I forgot to turn on these lights. Definitely felt like we greased that, at least right off the rip, and then obviously the lag kind of took over there, unfortunately.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So the only thing I did differently there was, once I went to idle, I was just watching my attitude indicator, and I tried to pitch up like a couple degrees and just like hold it, and like I didn't, like maybe I pitch up too much usually with this thing, I don't know, and maybe that's probably why I get into the floating scenario. So I just tried to pitch up like a couple degrees, and I don't know, like I said, I felt solid about that landing until the lag, but what are you gonna do? We'll just get our strobes on. I guess I should maybe make sure the guy's not landing on the left side. He hasn't said anything though either, so it's his fault if I cut him off. Oh, he's way out there. Dang, he's on a long final. Alright, we'll get the strobes back off, and all those lights can stay the same. I love the little 319, dude. I like this thing a lot. But yeah, we need storage, guys. We need storage space. I think that's what the lag's coming from. That's where the lag's coming from, I think. I have no idea where we should park, if we're being totally honest. We're probably just gonna take one of these gates over here. These look like more like regional gates or something like that, but I said we'll just take it, doesn't really matter. Okay, and it stops in the turn. Okay, it's going. Seemed like your flare was good. I thought so too. Thought it was fine. It's 2020 Limp with a legendary lurk. Oh my gosh, welcome to the stream, Limp. 2020 Limp, so I don't know, man. I tried to stay away from 2024 today because of all the bugs that everybody was saying they were having. But they still found us here in 2024. That's a good point, Mr. Emirates. I don't know when the last time I'll check for updates here once we get out. Alright, let's kill the engines.
This parking is too deboarding requested.
Yada, yada, yada. Give me deboarding. How about that? I guess what you did auto then. Under 10%. Let's go ahead and get the beacon light off. And the APU can stay on. Yeah, APU will just stay on for now. It's fine. And then we don't have to hit deboarding over here. Yes, deboard. Commence deboarding. Alright, guys. Let's see how we did in the parking job. A little long, little right, but not terrible. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the stream. That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being here today, guys. Like and subscribe if you guys are new. Check out the Twitch as well. We got a follower, another follower on Twitch today, so I really appreciate that. But go check out the Twitch if you guys would like. Mr. Hermit said when I use fly-by-wire 320, it freezes up a lot, and then it's back to normal when I update it. Okay. I'll check for updates here after the stream. Quill, thanks for being here. Brendan, thanks for being here. Good to see you again. Limp, as always, with the one chat. Awesome. The legendary lurker. But 320 fan, good to see all you guys again as well. And I'll be back streaming after the 4th. After the 4th, I'll be back, and we're going to have, like I said, July is going to be a great month of streaming, guys. So hope you enjoyed everything today, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.